What's up guys, welcome back to Bake It Better. In today's episode we'll be making everyone's favourite boxed cake mix, the Funfetti cake. Light, airy cake dotted with colourful sprinkles. You can't help but smile while eating it. We are going to do a little spin on it though, as we are going to be making a mini cake. At about 4 inches tall and 3 inches wide, these are the perfect gifts for any occasion. So, let's get baking. So to start, we can place our butter in our stand mixer. Soften it up a tiny bit, and then add in the sugar. Mix these together well. Once well mixed, add in the oil. Beat these all together on medium speed. While the butter is mixing, we can get our dry ingredients ready. So into a small bowl, we can add our flour, baking powder, and the salt. Give these a little whisk just to blend. Once the butter is light and fluffy, we can sift in 1/3 of the dry ingredients. Gently fold these in. Next we can add in half of the milk and mix. Repeat with another 1/3 of the dry ingredients, and then the remainder of the milk. Finish with the last of the dry ingredients and then set aside. In a clean bowl for your stand mixer, we can place our egg whites and then whip to a soft peak. It's important to note, when whipping egg whites that are going to be baked, that you need to start at a low speed and then gradually increase. Starting at a high speed creates uneven sized pockets of air, which can create an uneven texture in the final product. So start on low and slowly increase. Once the whites have been whipped, we can fold in a small amount into the batter. Next we can add in the sprinkles, as many or as few as you'd like. There really is no wrong amount. Mix those in and then fold in the remaining egg whites. We can transfer the batter into our pan. Using an angled spatula, just try to flatten and smooth it out as evenly as possible. Try your best not to play with it though, as you don't want to push out too much of the air. When finished, transfer to an oven preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and bake for approximately 25 minutes. Once it's baked, let it cool completely. So I have removed the cake from the pan and then transferred it to a second one. Now using a circle cutter, I'll cut out about 3-inch circles. Now, ideally you want to place these onto a cake circle, but I forgot to buy one, so a plate will do too. Pipe a small amount of buttercream onto your plate. You can find the recipe for this buttercream in a previous video. Next, place one of your circles onto the buttercream. Pipe a nice layer onto the cake and then top with a second layer. Repeat this process until you reach your desired height. Next, we can start the crumb coat. Now, you need to be careful in the beginning as the cake will be pretty unstable. Just be forceful but gentle. This layer doesn't need to be super pretty. This is just to fill in any gaps you have as well as to lock in those crumbs so they don't get into the final layer. Once it's fully covered, you'll want to clean up the plate and then place into the fridge to harden. Once the crumb coat has hardened, we can apply the final layer. So, repeating the same steps as the first coat, we want to create a nice, even, smooth layer. If you're an imperfect perfectionist like me, you can get obsessed with creating a perfect finish. Don't stress too much though, no one's art is truly perfect. I'm going to switch to my bench scraper to try to get a more even side, but the edge of the plate makes it a little difficult. Eventually, you just have to walk away. So next, I have this little squeeze bottle that I filled with chocolate ganache. It's an incredibly easy recipe of heated cream blended into chocolate. We'll just drizzle a small amount along the edge, creating those gorgeous drips. Fill in the top, and then place in the fridge to harden the ganache. Next, we can pipe some small rosettes on the top. Now, if you enjoy the look of the drips all the way to the bottom, you can call it finished. But I don't, so I'm just going to wipe out the excess ganache. Next, I'll just pipe a simple shell border. And finally, we can sprinkle some sprinkles over top the rosettes. And here we are guys, our mini Funfetti cake. You can really decorate it with an infinite number of ways to suit any preference. As always, you can find a copy of my recipe in the description below. Thank you for watching. I'll meet you back here in my kitchen for the next episode. I'll see you then.